Are you aware that India is known as the diabetes capital of the world? By 2025, an estimated 69 to 70 million people are expected to be afflicted with this ailment. Increasingly, people are getting it at a younger age. And those who have this ailment face difficulty in getting a term insurance product for themselves. And that is a huge issue because it means that you cannot buy financial protection for your family and peace of mind for yourself. Recently, to address this problem, Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance launched a diabetes term plan, which is targeted at pre-diabetics and people having type 2 diabetes. In this interview with Business Standard, Mr. Dheeraj Sehgal, Chief Distribution Officer and Head of Institutional Business at Bajaj Allianz Life, discusses the nuances of this product with us. Do watch this interview to learn more. Good afternoon, Mr. Sehgal, and welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Good afternoon to you as well. And thank you for having me here and giving an opportunity to talk about our product.
So we are going to have a very interesting discussion around the problems that people who have diabetes face in getting a term plan. And then we'll go on to talk about how your product attempts to solve this problem. My first question to you is, how large is the number of people who have diabetes in this country, and how many get added to the pool every year?
Oh, so it's becoming an epidemic in India. There are reports which say that by the end of 2025, India shall have anywhere close to 69 to 70 million people affected with diabetes. And that number is growing at an alarming proportion. By 2030, the reports say that India shall have close to 10 crore people suffering from diabetes. So it's becoming an alarming disorder in our country.
Is the incidence of diabetes also growing among younger people?
Absolutely. As the lifestyle changes, as kids stay more indoor, they are glued onto televisions and video games. The food habits are changing. We are now inclined more towards fast foods, etc. We're seeing a lot of younger people in the country also get affected with diabetes.
Could you elaborate for our viewers, what are the problems that a typical diabetic patient faces when he tries to get a term plan?
See, the risk perception, Sanjay, for a life insurance policy is the primary criteria on the basis of which the products are underwritten. As diabetics can probably have higher risk of getting associated ailments like cardiac ailments, etc. The underwriting for diabetics for the pure term plan takes a longer time. Once all the medicals are done, then the insurance companies would make a counter offer, which means that the premium, which was originally quoted to them, is increased depending on the health condition of the patient. So it takes a long drawn process, and the medicals and the tests and the questions involved, they increase because of the underlying health condition of diabetes.
So one, you said that the medicals tend to be elaborate, the process becomes prolonged, and then there could be a loading on the premium.
Absolutely.
Your plan is called Bajaj Allianz Life Diabetic Term Plan Sub 8 HbA1c. Could you explain for our viewers what this term Sub 8 HbA1c means?
All right. So we introduced this product very recently, and as the name of the product says, Diabetic Term Plan, it explicitly tells you that this term plan is specifically designed and targeted for people who are diabetics. HbA1c is a global standard of measuring how your sugar levels have been over the last 2 to 3 months period. It's a test which is conducted. It is called glycated hemoglobin test. And then there are measures. So what we are saying is that any individual who is a diabetic and his or her HbA1c levels are less than 8, our diabetic term plan will be offered to that person like any other Indian who buys another term plan.
Okay. So the basic criteria is that the level must be below 8.
Level must be below 8. That's the basic criteria. And second thing is that the product is available for type 2 diabetics only. It is not being offered for type 1 diabetics.
So what is a type 2 diabetic and what is a pre-diabetic? I think those two terms were mentioned.
Pre-diabetic is the individuals who are in let's stick to HbA1c only. People who are in the range of 5.5 to 6.4, 6.5, they are known as pre-diabetics, which means that they have still not been afflicted by the full-blown disorder, and hence they are categorized as pre-diabetics. And 6.5 onwards is what doctors say that you are diabetic, which means that you have to manage the disorder with the help of medications. Whereas pre-diabetics at times, depending on your other health conditions, doctors say that you can control that with lifestyle changes as well.
What is the difference between a type 1 diabetic and a type 2 diabetic? And why do you offer the product only to a type 2 diabetic?
Type 1 diabetic is the one which, an individual who is kind of born with that. Type 2 is what we acquire over a period of time. So the condition which is, which one gets at very early stage in the life has associated complications, which probably we are not best placed today to assess the risk. And hence this is offered to type 2 diabetics.
Could you explain the kind of health checkup that happens in the case of this product? Does the patient have to visit a clinic, or is the checkup done at his home? And will you check only for diabetes, or do you also check for other ailments? How elaborate is the checkup?
So it depends on the age of the person, and it also depends on the health condition which the individual who's opting for this diabetic term plan, what is the kind of health condition that the person has declared to us. Broadly speaking, I would say till the age of 45, all the tests which are needed can be done at home itself. We have the home medical facility. And people who are above the age of 45 would probably need to visit a medical center and get the test done. What are the kind of tests which are needed? They are largely blood tests and some associated tests which are related to cardiac condition of the patient. But largely it depends on the health condition which the individual declares or what gets discovered during the course of medical tests.
Will this plan be costlier than a term plan that is offered to a non-diabetic?
See, that insurance is all about pricing the risk that we are underwriting, because the perceived risk in a diabetic person would be slightly higher than the normal healthy individual. So there would be price difference. And earlier during our interaction, during one of the questions, I said that there's a counter offer made in case of regular term plan where the premium is increased. But since we have designed this product primarily for diabetics, we have considered that factor of cost also in mind. Let us take for an individual who's 45 years old and is planning to buy diabetic cover for 25 lakh rupees. The person has to pay us roughly around 1,500 rupees monthly for a period of 25 years. So it is slightly more expensive as compared to the term product, which is bought by the healthy individuals. But considering that the diabetic term plan has been designed specifically for diabetics. We have kept the price in mind, and it's fairly affordable.
What is the minimum and maximum term cover that you offer under this plan?
An individual can get covered till the age of 75 or for a term of 25 years, whatever is higher. So if you are at the age of 50, you can get it till the age of 75. So 25 years term or till the age of 75, whatever is higher. That's the scope of coverage. And as far as the sum at risk is concerned, the minimum sum assured is 25 lakh rupees. I think that's fairly meaningful, just in case any eventuality happens to the individual. At least a 25 lakh rupees kind of an amount is needed today for the family to meet their exigencies. And the maximum cover at this stage, which is offered, is 1 crore rupees. So the cover is between 25 lakhs to 1 crore. The term is 25 years. The highest age till which it can cover is 75 years of age.
And what help will you offer your customers in managing their insulin level?
Sanjay, we both know that diabetes is a lifestyle disorder. So we have proactively created a program which helps people manage their diabetes in a better manner. It could be consultations with their diabetologist and nutritionist, or it could be, helping you, motivating you, encouraging you to take care of your diets and your, other vital stats of your health parameters and activity levels, so that your health condition or your HbA1c level, which is the standard of measuring your sugar control, that remains in check. So all those programs under the, we call it Keep Fit program, which is a health management program. All these things have been built into the product, which encourage the customer, after paying the premium, also to maintain a healthy lifestyle and to monitor his or her health condition on a regular basis.
Could you elaborate on the incentive that you offer to customers? Will there be a reduction in the premium or something like that if they manage to manage their diabetes level
Absolutely.
well?
Absolutely. Keep Fit benefit that we are that we built into the program, it incentivizes the individuals who buy our plan. If they are able to keep their HbA1c level under check and they show improvement, then next year they can get a discount of base premium. As much as 10% of the premium can be reduced at the time of renewal. So there's an incentive for an individual to manage health conditions in a better manner.
We have discussed the product. I'll ask you a couple of broader questions around term plans. What are some of the key features that one should look for when buying a term plan?
I think first and foremost thing, Sanjay, is the cover should be meaningful enough. There are times when we opt for cover. Of course, the cover should be affordable. I'm not saying that we should be buying the cover which makes it a terrible strain to even pay the premium. But at the same time, cover should also be meaningful, that just in case of an unforeseen eventuality, the corpus which goes to the deceased person's family should be meaningful enough to either maintain their lifestyle or they are able to protect and live through their life goals with the money which is available, and that becomes a significant help. So first is the cover should be meaningful and affordable. Second is it should be easier for you to buy. There are products which would be available today online. Products which, depending on the kind of lifestyle you have, the kind of occupation you are in, ask for very few documents. There are products which offer you non-medical covers. So you should look at ease of purchase of a term plan as well. One very important factor of protection, because it's a very long drawn contract, the individual should also look at the claim settlement ratios, which means that out of the 100 claims which the insurance company got, how many of them were settled by them? I'm very proud to share with you at this juncture that I'm very proud to share with you that our claim settlement ratio has been in excess of 99%. So it's important that we look at the claim settlement ratio as well. One more important thing is that there are some riders which are offered in the protection plans. It could be riders which are revolving around critical illness, which for a small premium will give you added cover against critical illnesses, against terminal illnesses, against accidental death, or against disability in case of some accident leaves an individual disabled. So these are some of the riders which are available in the market, commonly available. But my suggestion to every individual who's looking for term plan would be that be very careful, just go through the details of the riders and the term product that you're buying. Keep in mind that you're buying it for the peace of your family, and hence it is of utmost importance that you spend those few minutes extra in reading through the terms and conditions. If you have a doubt, ask the person who's selling it to you. And the last bit in term purchase should be customer service. It's still a fairly technical thing. Everybody does not understand how insurance terminology works. So look at customer service if you're buying something to protect your family's future. Those are the main things that I would recommend people to be considering while they are buying their term insurance product.
Are there any typical mistakes that come to mind? Mistakes that customers make when buying term insurance? You have mentioned.
First mistake, I told you that people do not buy adequate cover. Let's put it like this. There's an individual who's the sole earning member, has got school-going kids, and is a middle-aged person who has an average Indian middle-class life. And the person ends up buying a cover of only 50 lakh rupees. We know that it may not be a sufficient amount of cover to buy. So it is very important that you look at the future liabilities, what kind of responsibilities your family will have to still fulfill in case of your death, and look at the cover accordingly. That's point number one. Second mistake that I would say is that it's not so much of a mistake. I think it is lack of awareness. We should start early. At an earlier age, if you buy the protection plan or a term plan at an early age, your premium is lesser. And in term plans, the premium does not change during the term of the policy. So you can start early and you will be able to get higher cover by paying lesser premium. But common mistake that we make is, during our early earning years, we feel it's not required. What's going to happen to me? So that's the second. And the third one, which I mentioned earlier, when you're buying added riders, just be a little more aware and go through the details of the riders so that you know that whatever cover you bought for, you have comprehensively covered whatever foreseeable conditions that you need to protect against. Fourth thing, I would add as a common citizen, when you're buying a term insurance plan, make sure that your family is kept informed about the policy number, the company that you bought from. We all saw during COVID, a lot of unfortunate incidents happened. where the families did not even know whether the deceased member of the family even had term plan. So keep your families informed. Those are the 4 things that I would want everybody to look at.
Thank you, Mr. Sehgal. It was a pleasure interacting with you. Your company has indeed launched a very commendable product, and I hope it benefits a lot of diabetes and pre-diabetic
so much,
patients in the country. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice day.
Thanks once again for giving me this opportunity. And we really look forward to covering a lot of diabetics through this product and continue to focus and design our products around the life goals of Indians. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.